and welcome to NDTV Sports. Today I'm Rodhur Mukherjee and I'm joined by my good friend Shriram Ganesh. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Rodhur. How about you?
I'm doing very good and there's a buzz in the air. The India-Sri Lanka series is underway and there's a new coaching appointment. Gautam Gambhir, new coach of the men's senior cricket team. Before we get into the agenda of the video, what do you think about Gambhir coming in?
I mean, it's going to be very exciting at the moment. You know, after his phenomenal stint with Kolkata Knight Riders as the mentor, they saw a great success, and I think we were expecting the same with India as well now.
Absolutely. I think I'm really looking forward to two big characters like Gambhir and then you've got like Kohli coming together once again. We'll see how it works. But now to the agenda of the video, and that is a tier list. We're going to rank every Indian coach from 2000 onwards. Yep, we have S tier, then we have A tier, B, C, D, and an interim tier for the interim managers that have taken charge of the Indian team from time to time.
So let's start with the interim coaches then. I think
VVS Lakshman, right in charge, right before Gambhir.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe tour, 4-1 win.
I mean, the biggest positive with VVS Lakshman whenever he's been in and around the coaching setup has been the kind of youth that has been brought into the Indian setup. For example, Abhishek Sharma, as we were talking about before as well, he was a phenomenal addition into the side.
Yeah.
A duck on his debut and then a phenomenal 100 on the second game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the sort of a metaphor of the Indian team going forward.
I think he got a duck on his debut for India as a coach as well because we lost the first one.
Absolutely.
But then, so obviously he goes into the interim tier.
Starts in next turn.
Sanjay Bangar.
Right.
Interim twice, not once, twice for India. Again, one of those people's men, really good to work with, really calm in their demeanor.
The sample size of him as a coach for India isn't that high. That's why I think we need to clarify. That's why we're putting him in the tier in the interim section, because these interim coaches haven't been coached for long enough. It makes sense.
Yeah. Let's get down to the big business then.
The big boys.
Rahul Dravid.
Yes, the most recent Indian coach and very fresh in the memory for every Indian fan at the moment. And what memories that team has given for us.
I completely agree. One of the best nights of my life. Rahul Dravid, where would you put him? One World Test Championship final lost.
Yes.
One ODI World Cup final lost.
Yes.
But we won it in the end. And more importantly, perhaps a very dominant way of playing.
I think for the sentimentality, I think we have to put him in A. I think we have three really quality managers who we won tournaments under.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest ones so far has been Rahul Dravid.
Yeah, I think Rahul Dravid was phenomenal, laid back, and that's what made him good. Going from laid back to the opposite of laid back, probably the one before Rahul Dravid. Even he's had 3 stints, but Ravi Shastri.
Yes. As famously he called himself the big brother of the side when he was a coach in India. And I think if there's any tier we're going to put him with, it has to be S.
I think Ravi Shastri, the way he built that team, the pace bowling attack, we saw Test cricket thrive.
I think it was
wins in Australia and England.
Thorough domination across formats. I think we have to take that into account.
We might not have had the tournament, the silverware, but it's harsh to assume that that's the criteria we should judge Ravi Shastri on. So Ravi Shastri comes in.
Yes.
And
let's go to another ultra-involved manager from the past then, Mr. John Wright, a certain someone that
we're going way back when. We're going back when the Prince of Kolkata was the captain of the Indian team.
You must know a lot about it. Go ahead.
I think John Wright came into India when the team was coming off its lowest ebb.
Yes.
The match-fixing scandal of 99, bans for Azharuddin, Sachin had gave up his captaincy. John Wright and Ganguly took us to that World Cup, set the basis for so many youngsters, from Dhoni to Yuvraj to Harbhajan. I think John Wright, perhaps if he had been a little more successful, if he had a little more wins, I think he gets into that A tier. But I think a B tier is a solid, respectable place for John Wright. Highest of B, absolutely, for John Wright.
Speaking of silverware, let's go to another World Cup winning coach then.
Gary Kirsten?
Yes, absolutely. 2011, probably the best cricketing moment for our generation, for sure. And this win definitely put us in the upper echelon of nations playing cricket. Where does he go?
I think Gary Kirsten goes right alongside Rahul Dravid with A. Absolutely. I think he's, World Cup means A. I think that's certain. So Gary Kirsten comes in at A. And let's talk about the third World Cup winning manager as well. And not a long-term coach, but someone again who took over in the turmoil was Lal Chand Rajput.
Yes.
Coming in as sort of a team manager, team director. We'll put him at A?
Yeah, I think for sentimentality again, 2007 World Cup, huge. Anil Kumble saga that happened, and I think that will be one of the very sour moments for Indian cricket. I think in the recent past for how things ended with him, even though the team at the time was really good and.
I think he goes to the C tier, sadly. Yeah. There's too many heavyweights at the top for there to be a lower tier there. From Anil Kumble as well, another one I think goes in C tier is Duncan Fletcher.
Yeah.
From 2011 to 15, taking over from Kirsten's glory.
Yes.
Lost big series in Australia and England, 4-0 losses.
Does put a big dampener.
We got the Champions Trophy.
Yes.
But I think those losses had a big impact on how that era shaped up and ended in a way. Wait a second. We have missed someone, haven't we? Have we missed someone 2005 to 7?
Oh yes, for the big revelation of the video.
Yeah, we have a D tier empty here. I don't think we're going to put him in D tier.
I think
no, let's make this new tier right here.
And it's called Greg.
Greg Chappell
Right.
is going right in the bottom tier. And I don't think I need to give a justification.
Yes,
we got knocked out in
He's so special that he has to go on a separate.
We got knocked out in the group stage of the World Cup. Riots all over India, very sad moments. But Greg Chappell was the opposite of what he was as a player. And he goes in his own special category.
Yes.
I think that's the list. But if I had to give you the chance to make a prediction, where would you think Gautam Gambhir will end up being in that list?
I mean,
do you see him winning silverware for us?
I do. I think we have to keep the biases aside also at times, but I think this is probably the best Indian core that we have in a very long time.
I agree.
I think 2023 was a huge disappointment. I think we should have absolutely cruised through with a victory, and that was shown in the 2024 World Cup.
Yeah.
I think we have silverware coming up.
Right. I completely agree. 2 alphas at the top of the list.
Yes,
that would round it off very well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this special ranking video on NDTV Sports. Let us know in the comments down below what would be your changes to the list. And we'll be back shortly with another video. Until then, this is Sriram. I'm Roddur signing off for NDTV Sports.